Hola, en esta lección vamos a hablar de cuándo podemos usar ser y estar. For watching this video, you might watch the previous videos on ser and estar. As we've been going over, ser and estar both mean to be, but they are used for quite different reasons in Spanish. Some would say that if you're confused, in many of the cases in English, we would probably use ser. Estar is the more confusing one though. But you should remember that we generally use ser for the following cases, which spell doctor, and we generally use estar for the following cases which spell place. Due to the differences in meaning, sometimes we could actually use both. Of course, they would mean different things. Here are some examples. First, we might notice that both could be used in the following sentences. Here we'll see the difference in descriptions and changes in condition. El té es frío. This would be saying that the tea is cold, which is normal, or generally tea for this person is cold. El té está frío would be saying the tea is cold right now, which is not normal. Another example, Qué bonita eres, Carmen, would be saying, how beautiful you are, Carmen. Carmen would normally be beautiful. That is, she's just a beautiful girl. If I were to say, Qué bonita estás, Carmen, then that would be saying instead, how beautiful you look, Carmen. As if her beauty is a condition that's changed. So she looks more beautiful than usual in this case. Another example, if I were to say, Soy gordo, I'd be saying, I'm fat. Every day, it's normal. If I were to say, Estoy gordo, I'd be saying, I'm fat. That is, my body weight has changed from before, or I feel fat right now. We might also notice that both ser and estar can be used in these next couple of sentences. And we'll notice it will be descriptions for ser and kind of an emphasis or impression for estar. El café es bueno would mean the coffee is good, or coffee in general is good. El café está bueno would be like saying the coffee is exceptionally good. This coffee is delicious. Or this coffee seems really good to me. La casa es grande would mean the house is big. It's just a description of the house. If I were to say, La casa está grande, I'd be saying, man, this house is big. Or maybe this house seems really big. We might also see that both ser and estar can be used in these following examples, or we'll see the difference between events and location. El concierto es en el teatro. The concert is in the theater. So for events we use ser. But we'll say el restaurante está en el centro. The restaurant is downtown. For things in general and not for events, we will use position and location with estar. Otro ejemplo, la fiesta va a ser en la casa de Rodolfo. The party is going to be in Rodolfo's house, so it's an event, therefore we use ser. But for general talking about position and location, we'll use estar. Estoy en el baño. I am in the bathroom. We might also notice that both ser and estar can be used when we're talking about prices. If I were to ask you cuánto es, then I'd be asking how much is it in total? How much is it all? But if I were talking about something that fluctuates, for example, a kilogram of chicken, because in other countries they measure in kilos, and I would say, ¿A cuánto está un kilo de pollo? Then I'd be asking, how much does a kilo of chicken cost? But this construction is saying that the costs fluctuate daily. So you might hear this a lot in the market for goods that are sold by weight or with fluctuating prices. But for general talking about price, las camisas son caras en esa tienda. The shirts are expensive in that store. It's a fact, so ser. But if I were to ask, ¿A cuánto está el euro en pesos mexicanos? How much is the euro worth in Mexican pesos now? We understand that the value is constantly changing, so its value itself might be considered a condition. And finally, there are some descriptions that change meaning between the two different verbs. Here are some of the common ones. Quite a few. Although it might seem complicated, the more you come across these two in speech and writing, it just makes more sense. Muy bien, that's all for this video lesson. Let me know if you have any questions or comments. Also, feel free to practice your own sentences that could use both ser or estar while changing in meaning in the comments section below. And don't forget to subscribe for updates on new video lessons. Finally, don't forget to check out these videos in the series on ser and estar if you haven't yet. To see the previous videos on the rules of ser or estar, click on either of these two videos. Or if you wanted to practice the differences between ser and estar in either of the two tests, click on either of these two videos. Gracias por mirar y nos vemos.